Welcome to the Brewtiful Game. As always, I'm Blake here with Ferris.
Hola.
And Ron.
What's happening?
What's happening is the collapse of the United States men's national team, but we'll get to that in a minute. That's going to be a big topic of the day as we ask the question, are the U.S. men's national team in crisis less than a year out of the World Cup under Pochettino? We'll see what we have to say about that. And then at the halftime whistle, we are going to go to the giant pretzel of the Garnacho and the Thomas steak of the Thompson sister, Ron, as he shares with us all the news that's fit to drink and yet another edition of Ron's Beer News. Then for the second half of the pod, we'll quickly run through the scores and matches from the first week of the WSL in England and stay in jolly old England as the men are back in action this weekend. And there has sure been a lot happening in Premiership. All of that in this edition of an all-English La Liga's Roundup. But first, our beer. We might have a slight theme, a slight German theme, it seems, unintended for this pod. I will kick off because my beer is from jolly old Germany. I don't think, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, have we done a beer from Augustiner Brew from Munich? Have we done one?
I believe we have.
We did?
Yep.
We did not do the Maximator, though, which is what I have brought upon this pod. So
that doesn't sound familiar.
So Augustiner Brew, they're from Munich, the oldest private brewery. Been doing this for 700 years now. I'm doing the Augustiner Maximator. Typical of the Maximator is the full-bodied, pithy, and pronounced body coated with a fine and velvety refraction. That's awesome sounding.
Pithy?
Yeah, there's some great words used in this.
Heck yeah.
Due to the use of dark malt produced in the barn malt house, the light sweetness is surrounded by a toasty cocoa note, and the finish is smooth with a lingering note of dark chocolates. Brewed according to the purity law. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this one, but here is old Maximator.
Oh, cool. Kind of looks, this does sound weird. It looks like a tarot card from the front of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a tarot card, but like with the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
Is what it looks like. Brewed and bottled in Munich. This one is 7.5% ABV. Classic 11.2 ounce European bottle. But I know I've never had this, so I'm excited. Ferris, what you got?
Cool. I can't say the same. I've certainly had this. I even sent you guys a photo the other week when my buddy Chris at Schweiny's Deli there in Winter Garden finally got his some of his Oktoberfest beers in, and it's one of our favorites that comes out every year, but every year they do it differently because it's the Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest edition, where they always do a collab with a different German brewery, and I didn't have a lot of options. I stopped home at the old Publix down the street. Just wanted to pick up a 6-pack or something. Instead, I got myself a nice 12-pack of these. But I don't mind because it's a darn good beer. Like I said, I had it just a few weeks back. So happy to have on the pod. I don't think I put it on Untapped, but we'll get it on Untapped this time. And from SierraNevada.com is where you can go to kind of find this out and go to their seasonal section. It's their Oktoberfest. Again, they do it every year. This year, it's our Authentic Oktoberfest as a collaboration with Storkenbecker. Hopefully I said that somewhat right. An award-winning German brewer, internationally recognized for quality and innovation. This modern fest beer blends into a rich, smooth malt backbone with notes of fresh baked bread and honey. Traditional German hops provide balance, bitterness, and herbal spicy aroma, rounding out the crisp, clean finish. Prost. It's a fest beer. That's the style. 6%, 32 on the old IBUs. Malts are Munich Pale Pilsner. Hops, Magnum, Opal, Piri, Spalter Select, Ten Hog, and Yeast Lager. And again, you can get it probably at your local Publix, Winn-Dixie.
It's always my favorite part.
One of my up north
favorite time of the year when they announce who they're going to do their collaboration with.
Kroger's probably has it, I'm sure. I don't know.
Ron, are you going to make it a German 3 for 3 episode?
Certainly.
Yeah.
Because Oktoberfest, gentlemen, is only 10 days away. Starts on Saturday, September 20th through October 5th. So I decided to go on a hunt for the most interesting Oktoberfest beers for this year. And I found this one, which is, throw it up on the screen there. This one, as I practice my German, Acht Schlenferle Rochbier.
Sounded good to me.
Yeah, I've
Might
seen
have
that
to blow
bottle.
off the mic a little bit from the
little spittle. It's brewed by Hellerbrau in Bamberg, Germany, which is just north of, if I'm not mistaken, it's north of Nuremberg, but east of Frankfurt. It's one of the oldest breweries in Bamberg, and it's a family-run brewery. Excuse me. They brew beers by hand using original recipes in the German, beer purity law. Guys, remember what that is?
The Reinskebot, right?
The Reinskebot.
Yep. And this one, the brewery is famous for this specialty smoked beer. The Acht Schlenkerle Rochbier is a smoked Marzen.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
That's neat.
You can go to schlenkerle.de and the brewery will pop up, and it is perfect Germany when you see the brewery and the pub that it's attached to. Located in the heart of Bamberg's Old Town, at the foot of the cathedral, lies the historic Schlenkerle Smoked Beer Brewery, first documented in 1405 as the House of the Blue Lion. Schlenkerle is now run by the Trum family in its 6th generation as the source of Bamberg's specialty Acht Schlenkerle Rochbier. Following the old tradition, the smoked beer is still tapped from oak barrels. And you can kind of explore the website. It's super cool. It's very, very old world German. And I am stoked to give this a try. It's a dark, bitter, spicy, bottom fermented Marzen beer, 13.5%.
Oh,
Good thing you ain't driving tonight.
Going to be pretty. Yeah, you should check it out. Again, Schlenkerle, SCHLENKERLA.de, and you can just take a trip down German brewery lane. I was on this website for quite a while. There's this what makes the Schlenkerle Rock beer so special, and there's just 10 bullets of this is how it's made and this is what it's done, and it's pretty awesome.
Nice.
I like that we went 3 for 3 with German beers today.
Yeah, we all the same idea.
I love it. I'm going to crack this bad boy open. I want to try
Me
this
too.
Maximata.
I can't wait. Oh, and I'm having it in my Stein from
Hey.
Heller.
I want to be able to see this one, so I've got my my Brewtiful Game glass because I didn't want to use my clay Stein. And
I'm having it in my Stein that I got at a future place of employment. I'm in a big storm Stein. But it has the what's this, say what?
You said a future place of employment?
Maybe I meant former, but then again, I really don't know if I'm still there. There's only what are these glasses? I know they're the Steins, but the glasses that have the golf ball smaller than type size.
Yeah, it's
dipples
just
in
it's
the
the
box.
half liter Stein, right? Yeah.
That's what it's called? Okay. And if there's
done that way to add the dimpling, much like a golf ball, adds strength to the glass so that when you smash them together, cheersing and prosting, you don't break one that looks like this, which is all just...
That's right. We have gone over this before on the pod, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Remember when I was taking the beer classes?
Yes.
This Maximator smells delicious.
It's the Maximator.
Yeah.
The pour on this thing. Oh,
look at that, man. That looks dark in 13%. I don't know exactly what that means, but it just does.
Oh, Blake. We have got to brew with smoked malt. Oh my God. This smells so good. It smells like a campfire.
See, that's why I like a good Rosh beer.
We're still here.
I'm ready anytime. I've offered several times, and you're like, "Oh yeah, okay," and then you flake.
Well, yeah, I think we should. Well, once the second kid's a little bit, older and in a good spot, we can.
When the second kid's older, and they can like bring you ingredients. Is that where that's going?
You knew exactly where I was going with that, don't you?
Yeah, nothing like a 5 gallon pound of boiling or 5 gallons of boiling liquid around a little one.
Junior, bring me the hot ball.
That's funny.
Oh my God. Cheers, gents. Prost.
All right. Prost.
Well, that's phenomenal. Woo. Right. 7.5% alcohol. I feel like I taste the alcohol a lot more than you normally do.
This is awesome.
Yeah. How's that 13%?
You don't taste any of that at all. There's very little alcohol taste.
That's awesome. And dangerous.
It is like drinking a Marzen campfire.
Does it make it a sipper?
Oh, that's awesome.
Do you know what I mean? Does it slow you down or?
Well, certainly a sipper, right? But like, you know how when you're drinking smoky scotch, you can kind of, once you drink it, you can feel that smoke flavor like in your nose.
Oh, yeah.
That is this beer.
That's awesome.
Now I want a smoky scotch too.
Oh, this is so good.
Oh, I have been on a kick lately, just German Pilsners and Marzes and stuff lately. I don't know why, but I've just been on a big kick for that.
Heck yeah.
This is a good beer.
This is one of the best ones that I think they've had because it's a fest beer, not a true like Marzen style Oktoberfest that maybe sits a little bit, heavier. The fest beer is just a little bit lighter, and just goes down so smooth. Again, Sierra Nevada collab with Storchenbecker. That's how you say it, but something like that.
Storchenbecker.
The Brazen Spetzelas and Taten. That's the... Say what?
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, right. So it's Storchenbecker, Brazel, Taten. Woo!
That was
Ask
amazing.
me that after a few of these.
Well, I mean, it's so much more fun to talk this beer than our next topic, or first topic. So we asked the question. Ron probably had the right idea about having a 13.5% alcohol beer. Are the United States men's national team in crisis less than a year out of the World Cup under Poch? Is that where we're at with the loss on Saturday by the score of 2-0 to South Korea and a 9-6-1 record with 5 losses and 1 win tonight as they top 25 FIFA ranked teams under over a top 25 FIFA ranked team under Mauricio Pochettino, less than a year out from the World Cup with only a few friendly matches left? We ask, is this crisis time? Are we in crisis mode?
No, we beat Japan today 2-0. We're winning the whole damn thing.
Yeah, clearly.
Look, we're not in a good spot, certainly.
No, just go follow Landon Donovan's like socials. See what he's got to say, man.
The The hard part about all this is that Pochettino said this was the last window he was expecting to be flipping players around and trying new things and seeing what he has past, I guess, whatever he thinks his, first team or his A team is going to be. So it's really hard because we haven't actually seen the full kind of expected starting 11 for the World Cup actually play together in quite some time.
Could you imagine if we had to qualify?
I don't think we would have.
It'd be tough, yeah.
So our track record isn't good. And that's, do you chalk it up mostly to the fact that we're just Pochettino still trying to figure out who we are?
Yes and no, but it's actually 10-6-1 after tonight. But you've had a Gold Cup, you've had a Nations League, you've had these things to figure it out. And bringing in some folks to the squad is a little bit different. Like the time for chopping and changing and figuring out what you have, I think, is out the door. You have a total of, I think, 5 friendly matches. I think Portugal was just announced to be played in Atlanta in like March of next year or February. But you have the November window where you're playing against Ecuador and Australia, 2 World Cup caliber teams. And then the November break where you're playing against Paraguay and Uruguay. Paraguay, maybe not so much a World Cup quality team, but Uruguay certainly is. And then, like I said, I believe they announced a Portugal one just the other day or today. So the time for chopping and changing to figure out what you have going into June 12th, which is when you're scheduled to play your first FIFA World Cup game, is a little bit late in the game, I guess, to be trying to figure it out. You bring in Blackman and you give him Tristan Blackman, who's a center back for Vancouver. You bring him in and you give him his first cap the other night against South Korea. Why not have brought him in during the Gold Cup? Why not have brought him in during some of the matches over the summer that we had that we could have played? Instead, you kind of wait till we're playing a South Korea who, they're going to be fast. They're going to be forward, or they're going to be on the front foot. They're going to be attacking. They have Son, obviously, who had a goal and an assist in this, and you bring him in to partner with Tim Ream. If you're going to bring in Blackman, why not put him against somebody that he's going to play against? Are you going to play Tim Ream in every match at the ripe age of 39? Maybe. But why not put him up against a Chris Richards and partner him there to see what this kind of young talent gets? Because you already know what you're going to get out of Ream, right? So there's examples like that I think we can question Poch on, to be like, okay, you brought these players in that are probably on the cusp of getting into the World Cup squad. What do you really need to see out of them right now, less than 365 days out? And that's what I think a lot of it comes down to. And then one thing, when you chop and change 4 or 5 players in a team, that's going to only unrest the team when they go out there, right? You think about all of the quality teams that we've had on the national team, but even think of your club team. When you start a steady rotation of players, and I get it, we haven't fully had that, right? We didn't have that during the Gold Cup through injury, through people deciding not to play, that sort of thing. But when you're chopping and changing 4 or 5 every game and not sticking with, okay, let's see what we get every game out of Blackman, or let's see what we get every game out of Roldan, or De La Torre, or Berhalter, or Zendejas, any of these type of folks, then all you're going to do is just plug in a different piece each time and expect the team to flow, expect the team to understand the concept that you're trying to play up against these top caliber type World Cup caliber teams.
Do we know what trophies that Pochettino has?
I think he won with Paris Saint-Germain, didn't he?
League One, 21-22, Paris Saint-Germain. Coupe de France, 2020-21, Paris Saint-Germain. And Trophy de Champions, 2020, Paris Saint-Germain. I don't know if you've noticed, but it's the same 2-year period with, and Ron, no offense to your son, because actually at his age, the soccer skills he is showing that you have sent us at the at preschool leads me to believe that I think your son could in fact have managed that Paris Saint-Germain team and still won those trophies. I don't know that those trophies speak well to Pochettino. Like, he literally won and then got fired too, which is still so odd to me. I mean, he was known for having a competitive Spurs team. I don't like.
Yeah, he built a team. Yes, he did. He built a team. He helped make Harry Kane kind of what he brought a lot of these younger players up, which is good. We have that kind of young talent, but part of the problem is this is what everybody's kind of deemed the golden years of what these players are. Your Pulisic's, your Weahs, your Adams, your McKennies, all of this. So I get me chopping and changing some of these younger players throughout the past year and a half that you've been with us, or that you've been head coach, but with less than a handful of games left before the World Cup, that chopping and changing has to end somewhere. Now you need to steady the team. Now you need to kind of right the ship. Now you need to get a little bit of consistency in there.
I'd like to see the ship just lift its anchor and gently sail somewhere. That'd be fine too.
I think we have a couple of problems, or a couple of continued problems. One is, I think we as the soccer public and the fans of the USMNT have greatly overestimated this golden set of players.
Agreed.
Right. We look at them like, for some reason, they're better than everybody who was before them. And we have such an inflated hope going into the 22 World Cup, and now coming out of it, being happy with Poch. When are we going to actually lay some blame at the players? Right? Like, the manager can only do so much. He can prepare you. He can set the team roster. He can set you up tactically for the teams you're going to face. But if the people aren't playing it the way the vision is supposed to be played, or if they're lazy and lethargic, are second to every ball, don't want to fight, that's not the manager's problem. That's squarely on the team. And we've been seeing that we've been seeing that since before the 2022 World Cup. Right? Like, the only person I thought really stood up in that series of games was Christian Pulisic, playing injured. Right? He manages to get that tying goal for us. Like, and then what else was notable? Right? Same thing with Gold Cup. Came in second. Okay. Wasn't terrible, but wasn't great. We still looked lazy, lethargic, lost. And then we had the exact same problems, in friendlies all the way up till now. So we're in crisis, but there's largely nothing to do about it. What are you going to do? Sack him?
I know.
And have somebody else?
No.
Right. His comments haven't helped, though, where basically they boil down to like, hey, we need to be positive. You guys are hurting your national team by not being positive. Be positive. And I'm like, I sort of kind of understand what he's saying, but also I don't know, man. Like,
it just doesn't feel good right now.
Right. He even just like squarely looking at the camera and being like, I realize this looks rough. And and we are building how this team needs to work together. trust process, whatever you want to friggin' say. But there's something not that his pressers should be like totally judgmental situation for him, but like it's just what he's saying doesn't feel good or like someone who's in control. Like, be positive, guys. This is gonna work out. I don't know. It's weird.
He talks about the lack of like support at the matches and kind of fan engagement. And talks about how the U.S. and the soccer culture and this, that, and the other. But then he tries to pull the wool over our eyes by saying a quote like, "I think we were better than South Korea."
These kind of quotes are yes. Okay. That's where he's killing himself. 5
fans that you have of the U.S. men's national team are calling bullshit on that because that's not what we saw. So you can't do that. And obviously, I'm being, there's more than that. But don't say one thing and then try to pull the wool over our eyes with the other. Like those that do support, those that do follow the team, that do buy jerseys, read the articles, watch on TV. Listen, you ever tried to go to a U.S. men's national team game? It's $75 for the last seat in the stadium.
Yeah.
And when you're playing,
and that's the thing.
And
he won't talk about that.
Right. And when you're playing kids that you can see every week for your MLS squad, I don't want to, like, that's a good chunk of change to see a friendly match against Trinidad and Tobago, so there's more to it. Yes, I wish the stadiums and the support was more in every stadium that the U.S. men go to, but we're not quite there yet. We also have a nation full of transplants that every other country in the world where these transplants come from love this sport. It's their number one sport. It's their NFL.
But can I just say,
we just don't have that here yet.
He absolutely took this job knowing that, though, about American soccer. The point was to come in and
should have known that,
be part of building it up. So this shouldn't be like that's I think the problem I have with whining about it. Like, if you win, great, complain about that.
Sure.
Like, this is so stupid. Like, we should. Sure. This was a great match. People should have been here cheering them on. But like, if you're losing, it also like you knew what you were walking into, and America's friggin' huge. So it's not like you can hop the train from Manchester and roll down to go see the English national team. I mean, like, I don't know, man. He's not doing himself any favors with the kind of crap he's saying. At least you'd almost like, dude, just be quiet, actually, at this point, because you're not helping yourself.
Right. And there's other ways than saying, like, I think we played better in South Korea. Like, that's not the right way to say that. Like, hey, I think we did some good things tonight that we can improve on. There was a few moments in the match we did not concentrate. We were not there on those few moments, and we got punished. And that's not good enough 5 games out from the World Cup.
A team that presses,
have to improve on the things. So we have to improve on those things, continue to work on those things while building on the things that we did well in this match. Like there's another way of saying that, opposed to trying to just, I get it. You're probably upset. You probably don't like what the team just did in that moment or out there. Maybe they didn't listen to the things you said, but I think that you were the better team than South Korea. You weren't.
Yeah.
You didn't have more chances. You didn't have more shots. You didn't have more of this. You didn't have and the most important scoreline, they beat you 2-0.
And he's I don't know. I think there's a bit of recency bias on that second half, but I don't think it's really genuine because South Korea made a bunch of changes and took their foot off the gas, which allowed us to have a better second half than we did in the first.
Yeah, I was going to say they relaxed. We're like, well, okay, when you know what I mean? It's a friendly. They didn't need to kill it. Like the overarching question is, okay, so what do? You don't. What are you going to do? You're gonna can him, finish paying him out his $6 million for his contract, and then who are you going to bring in that's going to do anything about it? Isn't that his MO though? Didn't Chelsea have to do that for him, and then didn't? It's like they're like,
yeah,
right?
but
what are we going to do? We're going to bring in Jose Mourinho, who is free agent.
I mean, yes, for the presser alone, yes, you would get engagement and people's butts and seats. Right,
we may win 1-0, but we'll get through in the group and we'll scrap through a knockout stage.
But see, you just said something though, like because Jose would actually look at the team he's got and try to figure out what's the best way he's got to do to eat by, and it might be a boring game, but he'll do it. Right now, we can't handle a press at all.
Yeah,
and we cannot punish mistakes.
We can't do it at all.
The interesting thing is there's two kinds of things that I don't quite understand. One, we're playing a lot of MLS a lot of MLS players. And a lot of those MLS players do not have either foreign experience or like play in European leagues and things like that. The MLS is not, in general, the MLS is not very good at pressing. All of the teams have kind of disjointed presses. They don't always press, together. You go to the Bundesliga, you go to the Premier League, and you look at these teams that are like just flawless on high pressing. We don't do that as good here in America.
Right? We don't have the time to do that, right? The teams that do it and do it well are the teams that are together a majority of the year playing together and do it as a team. If one person goes to press and the others just stand by, then it's just one person trying to run after the ball, and then they just pass the ball, and then there's no more press. So it's a team effort to press.
So that's one thing. This whole idea about the press. Two, all of these players that we are pulling from the MLS makes me wonder if there's some sort of what's the word? Not demand, but some sort of thing from the sporting directors at ussoccer.soccer.soccer.com who are saying we really need to up the caliber of MLS, and because we have Messi in it now and Busquets and all these other people, so start using more MLS players. If that's some sort of mandate from ussoccer.soccer.com, that this might not be entirely a Pochettino problem.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the case. I'd be surprised if that's the case. I think it's also surplus to demands in a way, right? You kind of can't field fully a team of full international playing players. If that makes sense. Like you could and you couldn't, but are they going to be your best 11 right now? Probably not. Matt Freese in goal's probably going to get the start in the World Cup. Probably going to be your starter in goal, right? He plays New York? Yeah. In the back, Chris Richards. I'm saying the ones the lineup that was today.
Right.
Palace. So yeah. Tim Ream, yes, he plays in the MLS. Was Fulham a few years ago. So okay.
So I'm talking about the new folks, not the people that have been with the USMNT
right
previously.
Right. You mean the new players, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But then you get up to your Freemans, your Arstons, who I know played a lot during the Gold Cup, your Jack McGlynn's, your Diego Luna's, all of those in the positions that they're in might be the best in those positions, or it's not somebody that's hurt, not somebody that's out. For instance, Roldan got the start today, played very well. I didn't watch all of the game alongside Tyler Adams. Usually that position would be Weston McKennie alongside Tyler Adams in there, right? So that's one that you can look at that. Balogun got the start up front, which he did very, very well. I think he brings a different dynamic to the team. Go out on like your right wing back, if you will, and that was Alex Freeman from Orlando City. Should that have maybe been Jorginho Dest? But then who do you play at that left back position? Are you going to play an Arston? Are you going to play a Ream? There's not really a left back that's out there that plays abroad that you're going to bring in over him. So I think there's a lot of those questions. I think it just has to be a healthy mix in your best four positions and what they can bring to the team. And I think a few of these players in this team that was brought in, why are we seeing them right now? Like, why are we seeing a Noah Kai Banks who didn't play at all? Like, why was he brought into this team? This camp.
Yeah, if you're going to switch around as much as he had with the idea of getting to try players, why? I don't know why you aren't doing that. I think the big problem for most people looking at it is, so the experimenting, moving around, okay, you're trying to find your team. Like, yes, this does make some sense, like, to an extent, if you kind of take the emotions out of it. The other side is that people are just looking at this going, what's the quickest we can get knocked out of the World Cup? Is that what we're looking at right now? And I think that kind of feels like what we're looking at. Everyone knows that if we had is of the opinion that it's good we're a host nation. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't get qualified.
And
I think also, like, if this is the best if these are the best players, let's say tonight, for the most part, minus one or two, are the people that we're going to see starting at the World Cup. We go out in the groups again. I don't really put this on Poch. I put this on U.S. Soccer. Because what are they doing that's making any difference to pump out better soccer players in the U.S.?
So there was, it's interesting you bring it up. There's an article from like June or something from ESPN where there's a writer, oh God, I think it was back in June. Anyway, saying that on some instances, people needed to relax because actually the problems we're going through are what everyone goes through, in that you have these players now that are playing in Europe and stuff. And right now the Champions League is still considered the pinnacle of you may want to win with your national team, but like Champions League is still the pinnacle. And that a lot of the national teams with countries that are soccer countries struggle with we can't get necessarily everybody to play as hard or want to play. And so in some instances, what we're dealing with right now is a growing pain of soccer becoming larger in America. I mean, it's an interesting take. I guess I kind of see it a little bit, like Pulisic not wanting to come because he was trying to stay healthy and play in the league. And that's something that other nations deal with as well. I don't know. I mean, but that's definitely been one take of it, is that it's the growing pains of us becoming more of a soccer loving nation.
And I only say that because, we've all heard the definition of an insanity, right? So we throw players at it, then we blame the managers. We say they're too good or they're not too good. We tout them as being the next coming for us. Then they don't do well. We treat them badly and ship them out, which is, I mean, Klinsmann, Berhalter. I mean, you can rattle through the list of people U.S. Soccer, screwed over because they weren't doing well, right? So what is U.S. Soccer doing to make this all better? Because clearly our players are not, and I don't mean this as a knock to the players, but clearly on an international level, we, the U.S. footballing nation, are not good enough. And this is U.S. Soccer's responsibility to deal with, not one manager,
right?
And 11.
Yeah, and I agree. I think that's a deeper conversation when we talk grassroots and the structure to play. I think we've come strides, right? Amount of players that are going overseas to play, the amount of players that we have even in academies here in the States and stuff like that. It's gotten better. There's still a long way to go, obviously. And you said the definition of insanity, trying the same thing over and over again. Gentlemen, do you know what they play tonight in the 2-0 win over Japan, a much needed win?
What do you mean what they played? Like the formation?
Formation, yeah.
Was it 3-4-3?
Correct. Do you know what they played the other night against South Korea?
It won't that on the Rolodex of formations.
Could you have brought out any more of a southern twang?
Right. We went that in the formations when they've been playing that foosball out there.
They pulled the jackpot and ding ding ding.
It was a 4-2-3-1 against Mexico. Do you know what they played?
Not well.
A 4-2-3-1. Against Guatemala, what did they play? A 4-2-3-1. Against Costa Rica, what did they play? A 4-2-3-1, which they won in pens on. Against Haiti, a 4-2-3-1. So maybe the definition of insanity is not doing the exact same thing over and over again, and Poch actually changed it up tonight, knowing, hey, the opponent that we're playing with, maybe we have to kind of fit him in. And I hate that it's called a 3-4-3. I get it, a lot of teams are playing this now, but in my opinion, it's basically a back five.
Yeah, it's
you think of just like your wing backs. But, against teams like this, which Japan are a top 25 team,
top
right?
25,
17th.
Yeah,
17.
Maybe you have to play this to add a little bit more defensive support and have your Baloguns and that kind of going forward to help. So, trying these things out is good. I just get nervy and don't get a great feeling in my stomach when it's 10 months out of the World Cup.
I think that's the thing, man, is they're just
9 months out, however long it is.
They're just because there's not even that feeling of we're Chelsea 4 years ago, right? When Ron was like, "What plan, please? Plan? Can we have a plan? Is there a plan? Is there three?" Like, and that's sort of what it feels. I think a little bit now is like you don't have to have had a flawless record to this point, but and when he says those comments, he does like, "Oh, we were a better team than South Korea. We just didn't win." You're like, it's just like, dude, no, don't.
No.
It makes it hard to just have faith in it. All of a sudden, Klinsmann feels more of a solid wall than Pochettino does. I don't know. And hey, look, they could roll into the World Cup, and they squeak some through, and they get a little further. Then if they get out of the group stage, to be honest, at this point, Pochettino might have lowered the bar, or this. I don't want to say him, but like you're saying, Ron, but like the bar may have gotten lowered enough that if he could get out of group stage, it would look enormous.
And we don't know what that group stage is quite yet, right?
It'll be the group of death. It's always the group of death because they like to call every.
Well,
group
we're a host nation,
yeah.
So we'll see, but I don't think that draw happens until December, if I'm mistaken. So we have 2 more windows. So there's still time. It's not like there's no time left, right? So we'll obviously talk about this in October after that break. We'll talk about it in November after that break, and we'll kind of see. I'm curious though. This win today, much needed, right? Especially after Saturday's loss, changed things up. Changed the front line, changed the formation, changed some of the players. It does a little bit of hope towards okay. All right, maybe we're thinking along a good route now. Maybe that win against South Korea kind of, jostled it a bit and kind of woke the team up and woke Poch up and woke U.S. Soccer to go, we need to do something. We need to do something now. It's only a game, so we'll see what happens, in October and what happens in November. But there is hope after the Japan win today, 2-0.
You should see. I'm going to send you guys this in a text. I said, in AI, I wrote, what is U.S. soccer doing to make better soccer players for our national teams? And it spit out a whole bunch of things like player pathways and infrastructure and professional development for coaches and talent ID, the U.S. way philosophy. And so there's all this stuff with MLS Next and Major League Soccer. And then so it puked out this whole list. And then I said, okay, how has it been effective? And by what metrics can we measure success? And then it was like, burp, burp, burp. I'm going to send this to you guys. So you'll find it interesting.
You just blew up ChatGPT.
We're not successful so far, according to ChatGPT.
You don't say.
Oh, you don't say. The big thing is we got to put more goals in the net than the other guys do. Boom.
Thank you, John Madden.
And with that, I think that rolls us over to our halftime whistle, which means it's time for all the news it's fit to drink with Ron's Beer News. Over to you, Ron.
All right, gentlemen, I have a question for you. Family Feud style.
Oh, yeah, baby. Let's do it.
First one to hold up their hand. So everybody put your hands on flat on your desk.
All right.
Up there.
All right. The first person to raise their hand gets to answer. And I'll judge by the latency of my video here.
Okay.
Name the top 5 drinks, alcoholic or not alcoholic, doesn't matter, that you would put ice in. Ferris.
Soda.
Okay.
Water.
Yes.
Survey says.
Smoothie.
Blake.
Can I steal it? So you did soda. You did
Water.
I mean, can I go as vague as a cocktail, or do you have to say a specific cocktail?
No, just the broad category.
So cocktails.
Ding.
Water.
That's 3 so far.
So we had water. We had cocktails. We had, what was the other one that he already said?
Soda.
Water, soda, cocktails that you have, drinks you have ice in. Top of
Smoothie's made of ice.
It is, but tell me that you put ice in.
I know.
What other drink?
I know.
We've done the hard drinks. We've done the soft drinks. We got the whiskey drink and the lager
coffee
drink. You got oh yeah, coffee. Okay, yeah, we iced coffee these days.
Okay, yeah, iced coffee.
So some people really dig on putting ice. What about cider?
Nope.
Oh,
Would tea be like another category?
Iced tea.
Iced tea. Okay, so tea, coffee. Okay, yeah, there we go.
It's in the name.
Yeah.
Oh, well, smoothie. You had to put ice in there to make it the damn smoothie.
So,
right? Don't you? Yeah, you do.
So those are your top 5.
It was a team effort, Blake. We are one family.
I was with you on the smoothie.
Thank you.
Have you ever put ice in your beer?
I've seen. I threw out cider because I was surprised this when I was in Ireland. In the summertime, people they would pour the cider over ice, and I just thought, isn't that a taboo thing? Like, no, that's what we do in the summer. It's like hot, so that surprised me. I didn't see it over beer, but cider.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever actually like just dropped it in the beer. I've definitely put it on ice. I don't know if I put it in. I put ice in the beer.
So the Gen Zs.
Oh God!
Geez, here we go.
That was friggin' hysterical.
Talk about the problem with the USMNT team, then you get right into this. There you go.
Oh my God, that delivery! Oh God, Ron Nudie is doing the whole time. That was wonderful.
The Gen Z are stirring up a debate by giving a new meaning to the term cold brew.
Did they see it on TikTok?
Funny. Gen Z drinkers are essentially adding ice to their beers, and they're doing it, pretty much everywhere. Most people, I don't think, care. Pub purists and beer aficionados are cringing. a TikTok user,
here it comes. I'm looking this crap up, right?
Said this is the most refreshing way to drink beer, as she poured a Modelo over ice, added lime juice, and rimmed her glass with salt.
It's not a cocktail there, sweetheart.
In another clip, a different influencer, also on TikTok, taste tested at Athletic Brewing Company's Lemon Radler, which is a non-alcoholic beer, but decided something was missing. Wait a second, and I quote, "I think there's a cup of ice that we need to add to this. It's super refreshing," she added after a few sips. In the caption, she admitted, "My husband did inform me that it's weird to drink beer on ice." Another comment on there was, "Put the glass in the freezer and then you don't need ice." I thought was hilarious. However, bar owners are saying that they are seeing this overwhelming trend firsthand. The general manager of Treadwell Park in New York City told their news outlet, "I've seen a few Gen Z customers ask for ice in their beer, usually in casual, warm settings. They don't push back. If that's how someone enjoys their drink, we're not here."
Yeah, sure.
However,
we're here to judge, but they're not here to judge.
The general manager also went on to say that ice dilutes your beer, its flavor, and especially in more complex styles. Lighter beers like lagers and wheat ales will handle it better.
That's fair.
But also, considering beer is already 95% water, adding ice feels a little redundant, but, I guess do your thing. So as Blake mentioned, young drinkers have been, and some places in Europe have been putting ice in cider for quite some time. The cider thing has been a trend for a while. They definitely taste better when they're chilled, as most ciders are, quote, horrible when they are drunk warm.
Well, I think that's your athletic brewing one, right?
Yeah, the
I
Radler.
See that being turned into like a mocktail type thing.
If you'd even told me like a not even the non-alcoholic, but God, what's the one we get, the grapefruit beer, Schaffhofer? Yeah, if you'd have said that with Schaffhofer, exactly, I mean, a German would have punched you in the face, but still, I'd be like, okay, I can see it.
Like, do you put it in would I put ice in the IPA?
Yeah,
I don't know. Like that,
that's what folks are doing.
I got
wrong. I'm just saying that's what they're doing.
I got one for you. Can I give you a dramatic reading that I discovered? Because I had to look up, like, I need to see, is this it's a thing people are talking about. 8 days ago, The Guardian put out an article, and I'm trying to see who wrote it. Who wrote this article? Why do they make that so hard to figure out on some of these? So here's the article, and it's written like a script. That's why a new survey has found, this is the heading, that more than a quarter of adults under 35 commit the sin of dilution to keep their pint cool. Is this alarming new trend that is here to stay? Name, icy beer. Age, niche for a while, now horribly mainstream. Appearance, there's no way to sugarcoat this. It's beer with ice cubes in it. I see we're talking about people with no taste today. If by people with no taste, you mean 28% of all 18 to 35-year-olds, then yes. To clarify, 1 in 4 adults under the age of 35 enjoy their beer with ice cubes in it. Slightly more than 1 in 4, yes, but only when it's warm outside. I have to say, that sounds like a lie. And yet, there's undeniable proof of it in the form of a survey of 2,000 people that was recently commissioned by LG. The television manufacturing brand? Well, that doesn't make it any less valid. What's more, there's a good chance that the survey is conservative. The true number of icy beer fanatics is probably much higher. Why is that, you say? Well, I'm glad you asked, because another 10% said embarrassment was holding them back from requesting ice in their beer. And another 20% said that they had previously been told off by friends, family, and bar staff for requesting it. Seriously, though, why is putting ice cubes in beer a bad thing? Well, I'll tell you. Because beer is already delicately flavored enough as it is, so diluting it with melted ice risks rendering it tasteless. Plus, a lot of work went into crafting that flavor profile. Don't just mess it up by adding what you like to your glass to clink when you swirl it. So where did this horrible trend originate? France, apparently, in the southern regions, normal to do on a hot day. Even though TikTok is perpetually full of Americans, people complaining about France's innate hatred of iced drinks, listen, things change. People put ice cubes in beer. It's progress? ? This has to be the worst drink trend of the year. Clearly, someone hasn't seen the movie Materialist yet. Oh, God, why? Because that's the film where Dakota Johnson orders a drink that's half beer and half Coca-Cola, known as a diesel in Germany. What is happening to the world? Calm down. People drink shandies all the time, and that's beer and lemonade. What's so bad about using a different fizzy drink? Well, I suppose it does make more sense than putting ice cubes in beer. Don't worry, this isn't actually going to be the future. Why is that? Because younger generations typically drink less than their older counterparts, and this combined with the World Health Organization's goal to reduce alcohol consumption by 20% per capita by 2030 means the drinking culture as we know it is on the verge of disappearing. Okay, fine. I'll turn a blind eye this time. Now, see, that's more like it. Barman, 1 half beer, half Coca-Cola slushy, please. Do say, I put ice cubes in my beer to stay cool. Don't say, I prefer to submerge a baked potato in mine to make it more filling. There you go.
Well done. Who wrote that in the Guardian?
It was in the Guardian. It's in the Guardian.
That is well written.
And I'm trying to, it's just the top. I don't know how they do their.
I know we have a link for an article from them in the content later on the pod, and I'm going through that article and I can't find who the hell it's written by either. So I'm struggling to.
I really thought I was going to come across this BS sort of niche conversation that was happening. And my God, there were so many articles, Ferris.
It's quite the thing.
I believe it. Each its own, I guess. Each its own.
Chef David Chong, a Michelin star.
Yes, chef.
Founder of the restaurant group, has defended the idea, saying on his podcast that the only real reason people reject iced beer is culinary snobbery.
Darn tootin'.
I mean, okay, yeah. Let's put some ketchup all over pizza. What the
Yeah.
There's got to be a line somewhere you don't cross. My God. Culinary snobbery.
Hilarious. I knew this one. When I was looking for beer news the other day, I was just like paging through, and I was like, "This one could work. This one could work." And I was like, "Oh, this one's gonna get people."
You ever seen that? You ever seen that famous one where the Italian chef is on the British or whatever show, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm making a carbonara or something." He's showing him how to do it, and the lady's like, "Oh yeah, you could put this in with it," and he goes, "Oh, and I could put wheels on my grandma, and there should be a bicycle."
Yes, because she says whatever he makes, she says tastes like a British carbonara.
Yes. And if I put wheels on my grandma, she would be a bicycle.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, there's got to be a line. There has to be a line. Mm-hmm. I don't like that line about snobbery.
I agree.
Like, look, I'm all for like what you like, but come on, man. Come on. I'm going to send you guys a great Sun article from the Sun. Not that I promote the Sun, but it's British reaction to ice over beer. They're taking pictures of bartenders. I'm going to send this to you guys right. This is so good.
Can I read some of the things they say in an accent?
Oh my God. So this is friggin' brilliant. It's the faces of the bartenders when I sent it to you that you see who have been asked to do
the first one I just see.
That's great.
Putting ice on lager.
The best one is the last guy.
My God, you're right. It's all pictures.
Nick Trow at the King's Armies in Bermondsey, South London, has had a few requests on the lager for the lager on the rocks.
It's a terrible idea. You're just diluting the beer and ruining the quality too. You're watering it down.
Usually it's in lager, but some even put it in ales, and a third of their red wine on the rocks too.
It's definitely a big no-no.
Oh my God.
It's not good for punters. It's not good for us.
Ron, you have knocked this beer news out of the park.
I knew this would get you guys fired up. That's hilarious.
Oh.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna go down to the Claddagh Cottage.
Oh God, you'll be banned from the place.
Right down the street, and I'm gonna ask for a frosty Guinness
Oh my God.
A Frosty. Oh,
there is one in here. An ice and legendary stout was rated a crime by our man Tom. Yes, a Guinness with ice in it. Hold on. Isn't there there's the various kind of there's your, but see, you're throwing a little bit of beer in there, right? If you mix a certain
oh God, the
Guinness
picture,
old fashioned or something like that, right? You're throwing a little bit of that into a cocktail type, but you're not doing a whole pint.
No.
Ron,
did you scroll down to the Tom staring at the Guinness on the rocks?
Mm-hmm.
In that article, it's about halfway down
right now.
Oh my God!
He looks in pure disgust.
I mean, this was worth. Oh my! Just seeing these beers with ice, it looks like sweet tea or something.
It looks. It hurts my heart.
The Guinness one
hurts my heart.
This one hurts so bad.
It hurts my heart.
Oh, and they're reviewing it too. Get all if you keep going down, they review them. Guinness Stout, -5 out of -5. On top of that, its appearance.
You're right. They do.
Its appearance was quite the crime. On top of that, the famous taste and smooth creaminess was missing, replaced with the occasional crunch of a chunk of ice that had sadly made it past my lips. These are great.
These are good.
Let's see. Ice in the IPA was rated at the least of the worst offenders. If a classic lager can't be improved with ice, can a modern IPA handle it? Fruity flavors somehow made it to my taste buds despite the frost. Just ice and IPA was the least of the worst offenders. Oh my God. This is so funny. Oh my God almighty.
So the question is, are you going to try it?
No.
Okay. So the cider, the Mangers cider bomb, it's weird. I think we've taught this in the pod, but it's called Bomber cider in Ireland. Same logo, but it's not Mangers, or whichever you get here in the States. Anyway, when I ordered the cider and had it on the ice, I was like, weird, but I'm in Ireland, so surely they know about beer. If you did this, they'd punch you. Can you imagine? Oh my God.
Guinness?
With a Guinness. But they poured it on, and I was like, actually, this is quite good, And in Ireland, it doesn't get hot enough where there's AC everywhere like it is here, and it was quite refreshing. I would do that again, except we tend to refrigerate our stuff way colder than they do. I don't know, man.
Look, we are a beer podcast and we try all kinds of different things. I think we all have to, on the next pod, we all have to pick a beer, ice it, and talk about it.
I'll do it, but I'm only going to do it with something like, you send me that Hulk Hogan beer you guys had. I'll do it with that. I ain't going to do it at no Guinness. I'm going to do
it. I think we should try it just to see. I mean, we are knocking it, right? Let's have actual empirical evidence on why we don't like it.
All right. Let's do this then.
Oh, no.
The first beer each of us had on the pod has to be on ice.
No, because I'm pretty confident mine was a Guinness.
Yeah. See, now nobody wants to do it.
What did I drink? I had
You had an Allagash.
Allagash White.
Oh, God. No, you can't do that.
I would do it.
I had a Pacifico. I don't want to do it. Like, what was yours again?
I had a Guinness. I started classic.
You did?
I think we should try. I think we should try it. I think we should try.
Man, my heart hurts just like the review for the Guinness one on here is the best. And God.
Look, new trends, and maybe this isn't going to stand the test of time or create some sort of crazy innovation, but the preferences in people's drinking habits, especially with beer, have led to some of the best beers on the planet, right? People started wanting hoppier beers, and now you have West Coast style IPAs, you have hazy IPAs, you have juicy, right? All of that came from people say, I want to try something.
Now, see, weirdly, that makes me want to try like a Stone IPA, the ones that peel your teeth back with how hoppy they are, over ice.
I just had one of those, yeah.
No, but over ice. See, if you were going to try one over ice.
Try it.
Because it's so strong that...
All I'm trying to say is that the preferences of the people doing the drinking have led to a lot of beer styles, innovations, and changes to the way we consume tons of things, whether it's the glass that you drink it in, how cold you drink it, different styles of beer. People have come up with the white stouts and the white porters, right? Which have caught on. This is another drinking trend. So,
I'm gonna sound like an old man here. This sounds like wearing Crocs and cut up gym sweat shorts
with socks
to every function you go
with socks, some big old like athletic socks.
This is what it sounds like to me.
You know what it sounds like to me? That's a toilet. And that's the sound of all our subscribers unsubscribing when we pour my beer over ice.
Either that or we're going to get amazing reaction to this.
Oh my God.
Oh, man.
Well, look, I mean, Ferris did pour IPA over ice cream.
I did?
Yeah. You're the cookie puss, right? Or no, which one did you pour over the ice cream?
I did. I poured something over ice cream.
And
yeah,
it took you longer to have.
It was a something float, though.
Oh, was that a Moo? No, what?
It was, wasn't it Moo Thunder?
Was that Moo Thunder?
Yeah.
Well, okay, that was out of desperation. That was trying to make that beer better.
Yeah. Hey,
or make it more
what?
palatable.
There you go. Why don't you get yourself some pork slap? Put that over ice. Maybe that'll help the situation.
Put that in a smoothie.
Oh, God. Anything from Butternut Brewing, sure, put that over ice. It can't hurt.
I'm just saying we should try it.
Oh, man.
And then we have empirical testing.
Yeah, I'll try it. Yes, I'll try it.
I'll try anything once. Give it to Mikey. He'll eat anything.
Pick any beer you want, right? And throw some ice in it. We're going to do it next pod.
I think we do our first beers that we had on the pod.
I think that's fair.
Oh, okay.
Three completely different styles.
Yeah.
Right?
All right, so, okay.
That's a good litmus test.
Yeah. Fair. Does the beer have to be, like, lukewarm, or can it be in the fridge?
No, you
too.
Yeah, you fridge it.
Right.
For fridge, okay.
Keep it in the fridge, take it out, then
put ice over it. Or put ice in a glass and then pour it over ice.
Correct.
Oh my God. This isn't even a bet thing we're doing. We're just doing this.
Is this going to be our beer for the entire pod? Can we have like an actual?
No, it's an experiment.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, experiment. And then I will have scotch sitting here next to my computer screen or something.
Look, you can take 2 sips out of the thing and realize you don't like it, but you have to explain why you don't like it. You can't just go, I don't like it, and be, get off my lawn, you little assholes. You can't do that. You drink it.
I was going to say, I think we need to drink the entire glass.
Yeah. And then say why we don't think it's a good, or say, you know what, this actually worked out.
I think the problem is you're going to want to drink it so fast. I do think as it waters down, it's going to make it work.
Whatever.
You know what I mean?
Whatever.
Like,
try it.
Oh my God. This went from one of Ron's most fun beer news is to the worst in like the very.
You're welcome.
It's like doing a bet beer, and I didn't lose this time.
Yeah.
We all lost. We're not even.
Look, I'm subjecting myself to this as well.
No, that's
right.
Yeah.
But look, if we claim to be beer people,
that's fair.
Right?
That's fair.
It's not very good of us to say we don't like it and not do it and tell people they're wrong. We should try it and then say they're wrong. But at least we'll have testing to say why we didn't like it. What's the
Look, it was worth it for me for the Sun article and the picture of the bartenders like talking about the drinks. It was totally worth it for me for that alone.
Did you guys, that article from The Guardian that you read?
Yeah.
Right. That reminded me of the video that has been making the rounds a million different times on the social medias where they're like, well, I'd like to talk about that crashed boat. Oh, you mean the oil tanker that had the front ripped off? Yes, that one. Well, I'd like to say that wasn't usual. What wasn't? Having the front ripped off? Yes, that's not very usual. Well, why isn't it usual? Well, because they're manufactured to very rigorous standards. Well, was the one that had the front ripped off made to the rigorous standards? Oh, well, yes. Have you guys seen that video?
No, now I gotta go look that up.
Oh, yeah. Australian video about an oil tank.
Man, Ron has really got in touch with Gen Z. Like,
yeah, he is.
It's our translator.
You guys got to check that out. It's too old, guys. It must have been in like the late 80s.
Look, if I'm in a bad mood, I just go onto TikTok or whatever, and I look up people eating that Swedish fermented fish thing.
Yes.
Oh, we've talked about that.
Yeah, I just cut those on and watch even people that are like, how bad could it be? That just what is that? I forget, Stromfergen or whatever it's called. Yeah. That's my literally probably that might be too much of any video reels or otherwise that pop up. I always get some of those, and I can't stop when I see someone doing it. I can't not watch it. It makes me laugh too hard. Oh,
all right. Look up Clark and Dawe, Dawe. The front fell off.
All right.
Say Clark Griswold reacts to an ice beer.
Clark and Dawe. Okay. All right. Boat fell off. And I know he's got another one called "It's the Planet Stupid." I'm gonna look this up. So of course the British.
It's right in your humor wheelhouse.
The front fell off. Okay, I've loaded it up. I cannot wait. I will do this as soon as this is over. Oh God, that was a good. Is that the end of the
end of the beer news?
For all the news that's fit to drink. Parentheses. We'll see after we try it with ice. Ron's beer news. All right, Ferris, we're back out of save us from the icy fields of Ron's beer news. And
yeah, let me pour an actual beer that's not on ice first. All right. Well, as we get into the World League Roundup,
we're going to talk about the WSL first. What
did you play the whip?
Oh, wait. Sorry. Say it. What did you want to talk about? I was trying to get my foot mob.
Like, where's my whip? I don't mean my car. All right.
Can you name another Gen Z? I'm all over it.
That ain't Gen Z. That's older than Gen Z.
That's older than that. Heck yeah.
I don't listen to it.
Oh my God, this is good.
All right, the Women's Super League in England, Week 1 in the books. It is back. Boy, oh boy, man, there's been a lot going on with that league. We'll get into some of the transfers coming up, but match Week 1, and at least Manchester United is number 1 at one thing. Yes, it's only 1 week, and it's only by goal difference. But hey, we'll take it where it comes, baby. But let's review some of the matches from Week 1 in the WSL. Kicked off Friday with a powerhouse match between Chelsea and Man City. And Chelsea were the victors here. 2-1 at Stamford Bridge. Beaver Jones and Hamanagol. And there was an own goal for Man City. Just Chelsea getting off to winning ways here. They debuted a few new players for them, one of which being Ellie Carpenter, an Australian left back, used to play here in the States, has been playing in France. She started at right back there. And they're just a solid team from to back. We'll get into a few of their signings that
Millie Bright
made as well.
Millie Bright back from injury.
Millie Bright back from injury, exactly. Felt like a new signing. And Man City will be up there again. Just couldn't quite get it, and this one is just Chelsea are just too strong. In the next match, it was there was a few of these where the early goal wasn't the one that decided the game, as there was a lot more scored after that. And the London City Lionesses, Michelle King's team, came up last year, and this is their first year in the WSL, and they've made a big splash with a lot of signings to them. They scored the first goal in the 17th minute via a pen, and that was by Korsva Asalani, who converted the pen in the 17th minute. And then England record transfer at the time from Liverpool, Olivia Smith got on the board and made it 1-1. Chloe Kelly, who they actually officially signed in the offseason, scored to make it 2-1. Blackstenius made it 3-1, and Aina made it 4-1 with both Beth Mead assisted goals on those last two goals. So they just got through. Every match is going to be played at the Emirates for them this season, which is awesome. And they beat the new girls to the block 4-1. And that same thing that happened in the Merseyside derby, as Everton were scored on first in the 12th minute, but then rallied off 4 goals, 3 of which being a hat trick by Ornella Vignio. And I don't know if I said that correctly.
Vignola?
Vignola?
Yeah.
Vignola?
I think so.
Vignola?
Vignola.
Vignola. Oh, there is an L. Is that an L or an I?
L.
That's partly where I was having the issue. Not really, but anyways. Yeah. Everton 4-1 at Anfield. Just blew the socks off on them. And won the first Merseyside derby of the season. On Sunday, early Sunday morning here in the States, Manchester United beat Leicester City 4-0. Ella Toon, first goal in the 13th minute, a year to the date that her dad passed. So she had a great celebration. She scored, just kind of pointed up to the sky in memory of that. Turlin scored in the 25th minute. And Elizabeth Turlin's been on a tear. 6 goals in, I think, 3 or 4 games. They've been qualifying for the knockout or for the group stages of the Champions League. So if you don't know, even if you finish top 3 in the WSL, that third place team has to play a series of qualifying games to even get into the knockout stages of the women's UEFA Champions League. And they've Manchester United have won the first 2, and Turlin scored, I think, 2 goals in each. She's been on an absolute tear. But it was Melvin Millard who actually got the 2 goals in this, and kind of late in the game, the 73rd and 87th minute. But Manchester United with that 4-0 are ahead on goal difference. And then when the last matches, Tottenham beat West Ham, so a London derby there, and a Bethany England goal to make it 1-0. So we're really early on in the league, but it is a very, very fun league. You might have a hard place to try to find where to watch it this season. A U.S. deal hasn't really been worked out. There'll be a few matches on ESPN Plus, but where you find the other matches may be a bit difficult, sadly. So hopefully the league can get a U.S. TV deal in some form, whether it's on, I think last year was on CBS for a majority of the season. So hopefully they can work something out here, and it can be on some streaming platform for us, so you can watch the teams over in England. But have you guys seen all of the various signings that have occurred in the league? God almighty.
And awesome. I love it.
A ton of action and a lot of money being thrown around.
A lot of money. Chelsea just signed, we alluded to it earlier, but Alyssa Thompson from Angel City for 1 point something million. What was it on? Sorry.
1.1.
1.1 million. Earlier that, or I think the day before that, London City Lionesses announced a $1.4 million signing from Paris Saint-Germain in Grace Giro. And as we talked on previous pod, that's just under the 1.5 that Orlando Pride set a few weeks back. But the transfer deadline day was on the 4th. And yes, some of these deals are announced after the fact, but if you get the deal sheet in on time, then it's good enough. But on that transfer deadline day, it was one of the wildest that you saw probably ever for what the WSL has to offer. There was a city swap there in Manchester as Grace Clinton, formerly of Manchester United, went to Man City, while Jess Park of Man City went over to Man United. Some undisclosed fees there as well, but a swap there. You had from Barcelona, a few players came into the league. Lucia Corrales from Barcelona to London City Lionesses. Amelia Shamachovic. No, I'm not saying that right. Shamachovic from Barcelona to Liverpool. Emily Van Egmond. She's been around here in the States. I think last played with San Diego, but she was playing with Birmingham City. She went to Leicester City for an undisclosed fee. So you just kind of saw all sorts of moves happening throughout the transfer deadline day and just all throughout the season, as just a lot of players just changing hands. And it should be a really, really fun league, and I hope that they can spread that league out here in the States to the TV audiences here. So the WSL Week 1 in the books. Now, as we head over to the men's side in England, the Premier League. We've been on an international break, as most of you know, but there has been some news as recently as just yesterday and today. Ron, do you know what news that is?
None of us got the sack race right.
We did not. I don't even know, was it qualified as a sack, or was it just a conscious uncoupling as you?
The sack.
It was a sack. He gone.
It wasn't his choice.
It was not. Nuno Espirito Santo leaves Nottingham Forest. That was yesterday. Ron, who got hired today?
Edge Ball is going to be live in Nottingham.
What? I had seen a report that the owner Marinakis was talking to Ange after Tottenham fired, and kind of, however they, buddy and had eyes for him. But I think that certainly report, I don't know, remember where I saw it, certainly came true, as less than 24 hours after Nuno departs, in comes Big Ange.
You think like Ange with his personality won't have? I'm curious about this too. Like, he doesn't seem like he put up with it much for long. If there really is a problem with the owner,
I think this has been a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Allegedly, during this international break, there were several meetings and several argument clashes that made the situation untenable. But as you know, the situation was, growing in increasing intensity over, quite some time, even in the off season. Right. So they've been talking to Ange for a bit, and then, whatever straw broke the camel's back during the international break, they said bounced Nuno and Postacoglu's in. So that means allegedly in his second year at Nottingham, if he makes it, he's going to win a trophy.
Did anyone of us pick Nuno for their manager to get fired quick?
No.
And this is pretty fast.
Not.
We're at third weekend,
yeah.
Fourth match week.
Mm-hmm.
What are we about to go into?
It's the first international break. Usually somebody is on the rocks. Not usually somebody bites the dust, but pretty darn quick.
This is the fastest a manager's been fired?
Did we talk on the last pod, or I don't know if we did. It's still not the fastest in Europe.
No, because there was one that was like they got hired and then didn't.
Well, Eric Ten Hag. Have we discussed this on the pod?
Oh no, I guess we really didn't.
Yeah. Bayern. Say what, Ron? Sorry.
That's right, Eric Ten Hag.
Yeah. After 2 league games, 3 games total. They were playing a DF Pokal game. After 2 league games, he lost one and drew one. Sacked out the door at Bayern Leverkusen. And that one's a bit harsh because they sold off half the team. Well, they sold off half the team. All your good players, they sold off. After 2 league games where you lost one and you drew one and you're out the door in your first season.
You also
It's a bit harsh.
You also hired Ohana at Man United. Just saying,
he did, correct.
So,
but he didn't hire him at Bayern.
So did I send you guys the article that like was the? I can't remember, it was the Athletic, but like that Ten Hag was accused of like really completely screwing up Leverkusen's like transfer. There was a whole bunch of stuff like.
Yeah, he was accused of a lot of things, sabotage to the club. That's what it was.
Yeah, like
sabotage to the club, huh?
So I'm not sure what all that is, but of course he's mad about it, calls it unprecedented. So guys, here's the real question. Here's what really matters. When is Jose Mourinho going to come back to the Premier League? Because I have a feeling some other dominoes are about to fall as well.
I mean, there's no shortage of managers who can be sacked relatively soon.
Ange, actually, to be honest, as far as pressers go, happy to have him back in the Premier League. Gonna make
100%.
But I was disappointed that it was not. I thought, oh my God, a Nottingham led by Jose Mourinho. Let's see that happen.
Yeah, hilarious.
Like,
I would like Ange more if he was a little more clever in his pressers, right? Like, we love a good presser. We love a snarky manager. No problem there. But he's just kind of, I don't know. He's just kind of like, well, this is who I am, so go yourself.
Yeah.
There's no like wit or.
That works once.
I mean, if you're going
to be more clever than that.
If you're going to try and be one of those like manager villain types, like be at least make it clever, because any idiot can go, this is who I am, go yourself.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, there's nothing remotely clever to that.
But he does win in season 2.
You got to put up with nails on the chalkboard the entire first season,
and then get canned. But I just know there's a lot of stuff going with Erik ten Hag, so I'm just curious. Don't know where he floats around to. I feel like, Ange comes in so fast at Nottingham. It probably makes sense. I don't know, though. Do you think he can change? Because the whole thing at Spurs was that he couldn't change his style of play. You're going to make Chris Wood run the length of the pitch? I don't know if that's going to work. So let's see how quick he can adapt. And I don't know, maybe we get Jose Mourinho down at Fulham or something like that when it's all said and done.
We might see him back in the Premier League. Who did we have again? We had Brentford. Who's the Brentford? Who do we have?
I had
I'm gonna look this up.
Graham Potter.
So maybe Mourinho at Brighton.
Oh,
or not? Where the hell is he? West Ham. He hasn't been at West Ham, has he?
Just said that.
Oh, did you? Sorry, I was
okay.
I was in my own world.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see him there. I mean, you got to expect that if you're gonna bring him in, you're gonna have scorched earth within 2 years, right? So
sure.
If you want to completely rebuild your club, he's not a bad person to do it.
Not at all. So we had Graham Potter on. I had Daniel Farker Leeds. I don't necessarily see that from Mourinho. Not now in his career. Keith Andrews. So he's the one at Brighton.
What if Newcastle United struggle and they get rid of Howe? They seem to go there.
That's a great shout.
Great
shout.
I could see him being a Magpie. Oh my God. Like in a heartbeat. That's my fantasy football.
I like Howe. I don't want that to happen, but that's a great shout.
And he always is upset he never got what he wanted to have happen at Man United. Just saying.
Here's what will happen. Amron will get fired at Man United. Howe will come over to Man United. Jose will go to Newcastle.
Oh, my God. Yes, and he'll go to Newcastle when they're stuck in like 17th, and that's when you guys get Howe. Yeah. Oh, my God. Ferris, that sounds so plausible.
Yeah, absolutely. It's plausible. Because you have Jose, who's just a wild card, and any team got to hire him, right? But then you also have Man United, that they've been a dumpster fire for the past 10 years since Sir Alex left, hiring so many damn managers after, whatever. That's absolutely a plausible. I don't think it'll happen, but
it's really just biding time for next season or next year when the U.S. bomb out of the World Cup in the group stages. Pochettino gets canned, then Jose Mourinho gets canned at Newcastle, and he's hired for the USMNT job.
Oh my God!
I would really like that. I just don't think it's going to happen.
It'd be so.
Oh my God! Okay, we should.
All right, let's talk
move on.
Actual transfers that occurred. Deadline day. We haven't been on since then. Isaac gets his move finally for a British British record fee.
What was that, Ron?
Is it just rewarding bad behavior? I feel like
well now hold on, because there's a little back and forth about this, because some say that like Newcastle was crappy and didn't do what they promised that they agreed to do for him. So I'm not sure there's not a little truth in the middle or 3/4 the way some here with
right, but you're still under contract for it's not like he was in his last year of his contract.
No.
Or like, you're still under contract to play, for that club. So the whole sitting out and not playing while coming out and doing the back and forth with statements and refusing to play and, those type of things. I think to Ron's point is we haven't really seen that. You saw in this window people that hold out to finally get their moves, right? Even just with Newcastle alone, right? Alexander Isaac held out, didn't want to play, only wanted this move happens on the last day. Down in Brentford, Johan Wissa, same thing down there. Not as big of news, obviously. Didn't go for as big a fee, but then got his move to Newcastle finally. Then you saw people like Crystal Palace with Mark Gahey, who Liverpool were going after, and it was not confirmed, but looking like it was going that way. He had booked a medical, didn't get the medical. Palace was trying to go after another center back to fill his boots. That fell through. That center back went to West Ham. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. And then they pulled back that deal, and Mark Gahey never got his move to the champions of the Premier League, but did it in a very professional way on how he went about it. Still played for the club. Even scored 2 days before that for his club. So, to Ron's point, are you rewarding that bad behavior there, or are you giving the players so much power to allow them to dictate the moves that they do?
I think if he was in the last year, their contract in Newcastle were being subversive and, maybe miserly about the fee. Okay, maybe you could justify some of that. But, yep. I mean, he put the full court press out on what Newcastle were being. And allegedly, Newcastle is like, we explained our position to the player and his reps. We have not changed that. And the player is now doing XYZ. Right?
Well, and I think he was thinking of a deal that had been, a handshake deal that had been done with management prior to that Stapley's group.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah. And we just saw that here within, the States, the whole Jerry Jones with, plays for Green Bay now.
Yeah.
How
but
this handshake deal that they apparently had, but no agent was involved, and well, unless it's written down on paper, this is business. That those type of deals aren't getting done. So, it's one thing that we forget as fans of these clubs is in the end, it's business. You have agents involved, you have players involved, you have clubs involved, you have owners involved.
I'll give you one.
You have supporters involved. You have a little bit of everything involved, but in the end, it's business.
Well, give you a quote from ex-player Thierry Henry. Did you hear what he said? Which, when you have a player in this type of situation at Newcastle where Isaac wants to leave, it's because he's good that people are upset. When a player is playing bad and the club wants him out, no one's crying for the player. So it's just business. Like both the clubs and Isaac's own personal business. Now, that all being said, forget about how it shook out. Do you gentlemen think it's worth it? Because he is prone to some injuries. That's a lot of money.
125 million pounds. 6 years deal. The Athletic in their ranking of the 155 transfers did not rank the Alexander Isak one number 1. They ranked it number 5. So to Blake's point, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, because obviously, man, you never know, right? A guy's doing amazing, goes to another club and does terrible, or vice versa, not that great, then goes to another club and is amazing. And don't forget, it wasn't covered because he was coming out of Porto, but Gyökeres played a bit of hardball too with his own club there, right?
Sure, yeah,
and was like, yeah. I don't want to play because we talked about me getting out of here, and so like it happens, like you said, it's part of the business and doing it.
I think it's hard to tell, right? A lot of these deals, it takes a few years to play out whether or not it was worth it. You don't know. It may be worth it this season. They may win. Will they win the title for the next 3 or 4 years? If you take Liverpool as an example, 3 times in this window, they spent over 100 million pounds on 3 different players.
But here's the thing. Unlike a Man City.
If that wins you 3 of the next 5 titles, probably worth it.
Well, what's cool, and I hate to see it, but it's cool because unlike the Man City situation and stuff, they earned this in the sense of they played smart with their money. They sold players well. And even though they've spent a ton of money, it's not like it's just money they're throwing out there. Like they've done smart business. And unlike a lot of clubs that don't do this, they've struck while the iron is hot. They're good and they're going after. So they're trying to be Man City 2.0 for the next few years.
And they didn't spend pretty much anything last summer. So definitely a change of philosophy in a way. And I can only imagine a very exciting and happy fan base there going, oh my gosh, you brought in all these players. This is great. Will it pay out in the end? Again, if you win 3 of the next 5 Premier League titles, yeah, I'd say it was worth it. But if you win 1 and then you're just top 4 the next 3 or 4 seasons, is that worth it? For the amount that you spent? I don't know.
And that player is out injured or is underperforming,
sure,
and make it not worth it, right? So just because winning is not really the metric you should go by, right? I mean, look at some of the players. There's tons of players that were amazing deals and amazing trades and then turned out to be not so good. Just from the Chelsea perspective, Lukaku, right? Great trade the beginning, and then it all went south after loans and misunderstandings. Raheem Sterling, right? Like there's all these Ben Chilwell. There's just tons of them out there, and it really comes down to the club's approach to rank the success of a player trade, right? Because each one has a different model for how they do it, right? So some of these could be bang on perfect signings, and others are gonna miss.
Sweden might have a really good team at the World Cup too, y'all. By the way,
yes, they may. Some other deadline day signings there across the board. You had a World Cup winner. Or the World Cup winner? Definitely a Euros winner, but Donnarumma and a Champions League winner. Donnarumma made his way over to Man City on deadline day. So in this window alone, they brought in James Trafford and Donnarumma, and Ederson actually went out the door to Turkey. Man United, similar type thing. They brought in a far less a decorated goaltender and Amons from Royal Antwerp. But, gentlemen, they're not hanging on to 3, 2 of which can't hold on to the ball or can't come out for a cross. Onana also made his way to Turkey just a few days ago. Turkey League is still open, or was still open, for about a week after. And he's only on loan.
I love it.
But I love it that he's out.
I think he was happy to be out too.
Yeah, I think it is. Everybody's happy that he's out at least for a year, and he's getting a huge pay rise too. So
watch him be better,
right? You know,
100% he will be.
You know, another happy outing on transfer day or dead.
No, what's that?
Nicholas Jackson.
He did, and that one was a weird one because.
Bye.
He was on again, off again, out again, on again. He had flown over there. The deal stopped because Delap got injured.
Yeah, Delap.
Right in the game just before that. And they were like, no, we need to stay. And then it got across the line on deadline day.
So why did they
stayed in Germany before he came back, and they finally worked out a deal for him?
You think he was so upset about it that it stalled Chelsea because they were like, "Oh, come back, we're in trouble now." And then
I think it was a bit of how much is because Bayern paid a pretty good bit to get him, even on loan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So I think really
pretty good deal. Yeah.
The way this went down was now that Delap is injured and out 8 weeks, stop everything. Let us reevaluate our first team attacking alignment and figure out what it is we need to do or not. So everybody just pause and figure it out, right? And essentially they figured out they're having trouble with a trade that they were going to bring someone else in, and they were having trouble with that. When that seemed like it was going to falter, they told Jackson, hey, we're going to have to bring you back because it doesn't look like this trade's going to happen, right? Jackson, furious, said, well, I'm staying in Germany. Piss off. I'm not going to come back only for you to maybe send me back. Bayern was like, hey, wait a second. What's going on here? Meanwhile, Chelsea got their act together, figured out they got their trade that they were going for. Then Nicholas Jackson could go on. But it took 2 days for them to kind of reassess the attacking plan and then, figure it out. But all that to say, he gone. For the season.
Gone.
Thank God.
Yeah, and I'm gonna miss not writing headlines or whatnot to Nicholas Jackson. And that was kind of your big transfer deadline day. There were a few other Arsenal Piero Hinnekepie on loan from Bayern Leverkusen on a 1-year deal.
That was a good pickup considering this.
It's a good pickup. Some center back depth, absolutely.
Sancho Villa. I think
what?
Sancho to Aston Villa.
Sancho on loan to Villa, yep. And they brought in another Man United player, the Iceman, Victor Lindelof, a center back a year or two before that. Kind of a quiet one, but Tottenham brought in some of that center attacking. They didn't bring in Eze, obviously, because he went to Arsenal. But with Madison out injured, they brought in Zabi Simons from RB Leipzig, kind of a sneaky one that they got through. I don't think it was on deadline day. I think it was like the day before that, but a good signing there. And Tottenham had a pretty good window. Joel Paulinho on the Athletics ranking of 155 transfers that took place. Joel Paulinho, formerly of Fulham, but came from Bayern to Tottenham. It's only on loan. It's a 1-year deal, but he ranks as their number 1 signing in this transfer window. So you can head over there to the Athletic to kind of review all of those signings from the Premier League. And just to quickly add here and end here, we have some Premier League action taking place this weekend. It is back. Early kickoffs here, especially if you're on the West Coast, but early here on the East Coast as well. Arsenal and Nottingham Forest. So Ange taking on Arsenal right out of the gate. Love that. The Battle of the Bees, Bournemouth and Brighton. Crystal Palace and Sunderland. Everton and Villa. Everton have been very good to start. Villa not so much. So that's an interesting one. Fulham Leeds. Newcastle Wolves. And then your 12:30 match here in the States is West Ham Tottenham. So a London rivalry there. that should be interesting, especially because West Ham made some moves, but they have not started off good. They really need to come out of this break playing a lot better. And then you have a really late match there. You have another London club matchup between Brentford and Chelsea at what I think will be our 3:00 game here on the East Coast. And then on Sunday, you only got 2 matches: Burnley, Liverpool at 9 a.m. and then the Manchester Derby, 11:30 on Sunday the 14th. Man City, 1 win, 2 losses out of the gate. Same for Man United. Man United's actually ranked higher than them in the table right now. But will we see a no goalkeeper in between the posts for both Man City and Man United? You very well may see Donnarumma on one side and Lemans on the other side. So that is to end your return of the Premier League. And that has been your La Liga's Roundup.
Boom! Well, let's move us on along, gentlemen, as we wrap this up. Our beer mentions of the pod. I had the Maximator from the Augustiner Brewery, or Augustiner Brew in Munich.
It's the Maxinator. I had the Oktoberfest Fest beer from Sierra Nevada in collab with Storkenbecker Brosh Peasant.
Yep, that one.
Said with such confidence. I had the
speaking of confidence.
Right, here we go. Act Schellenferler Rochbier from Heller Brewing in Bamberg, Germany. Delicious beer.
And for our Ferris, and you've got is it an quote of some kind?
I do not, but I have a quote that we failed to mention while talking about the U.S.
Is this from Landon Donovan, or is this from?
Not. It is from Pochettino.
Oh,
his press conference after South Korea was quite entertaining. He was quoted, gentlemen, as saying, "We need to start to win when the World Cup starts." No, thank you, John Madden.
I forgot about that one. I'm glad you caught it, because that was one of those.
Thanks, Einstein. Yeah, he probably should start to win games when the World Cup starts.
He's got to.
No kidding.
He's got to
just tell us, come on.
He's got to stop it with that. Follow us at the Brewtiful Game. Follow us on Untappd for all our beer adventures, as well as on the socials. Since we had all 3 German beers, I got a German question for you. Well, not a German question, but I have a German story to tell you. A short one. A German walks into a bar and orders a martini. The bartender asks, "Dry?" The German replies, "Nein, just one." That's okay, guys. I don't think jokes about German beers are really that funny. It's kind of a Lowenbrow kind of humor. I like when Ferris's eyes scrunch that far forward. All right. Well,
you got to put ice in your beer there, boy.
Oh gosh.
I'm excited.
Oh my gosh. None of the beers that are in my fridge right now are getting ice. I'm going to have to go find something else. All right, gentlemen. I gotta do the Guinness. Right.
I have Pacifico here, so I am prepared. I do have ice, so I am prepared.
I gotta do the Guinness. All right, gents. Here we go. Love the beer, cherish the game of the Brewtiful Game.
Prost.